One thing I understand is that the to get the right information or to get the right format of knowledge, it is very important to use the right keywords with the
Yes.
Copilot or the so if you could because you will get different answers for the same thing when you keep on questioning in a different way with ChatGPT or Copilot. So how to phrase something, if you could highlight something, like put some about your opinion, how to phrase the right words to get the right information.
So one thing is you keep your objective in mind.
Hmm.
This is one thing. Then, though I always, you see, share with my students about the how you can utilize the Copilot or the ChatGPT output. I will first start with that. Whatever you get from your question, the answer, you need to basically humanize your answer so that you can utilize it in the project. You have to refine it, you have to contextualize it, and you have to humanize it.
Yes,
So,
that's very important.
so for even for the question, you see, even your question may need, you see, one, two, or three refinements, and of course, a question without a context, because you see, all what we need, being outsiders to the business analyst profession as my students are, you need a better context for these skills which you are acquiring on a weekly basis. So what you can do, every time you provide the context to the co-pilot, and you also seek context from the co-pilot. How can you provide me with an, say, for example, a practical example from, say, e-commerce industry, a practical example from, say, let us say, you have been working in telecom, a practical example from telecom billing systems. So context, get the right context, because moment you start utilizing the context, things will become simple for you so that you can understand and communicate further, because your objective for this answer is to have a better understanding, and whatever you understand you should be able to communicate to maybe your prospective teammate, your prospective employer or interviewer. So this is what I may suggest. um, so other than this, I think I need to apply my mind how to come up with mm, good keywords. One thing what you can do, just go to YouTube or just Google about some simple, some introductory course on ChatGPT. You may have to invest something like 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour on learning ChatGPT. Much of it you will already know, but it may so happen that two, three, or four new things will be shared with you, and they will really make you more efficient and more effective while utilizing these large language models. So this is one thing what I can suggest. So go for a basic 1 hour, 1.5 hour course wherever it is available. It will be available on YouTube also. Go to the YouTube channel, say for example, for Copilot, or go to the YouTube channel for official channel for ChatGPT. And out there, they will give you some tips which will make you more effective and efficient, including on the side on basically providing effective prompts. So this is, I think you can utilize. Now today, I will start with unified modeling language and use case modeling. So this is what we intend to cover today. So to provide you the perspective again, see here, as a business analyst, your focus is on the project requirements. You have to understand these requirements from the client and communicate it to the development team. And in fact, you have to communicate these requirements to stakeholders who are at various levels. And while you communicate these requirements, you prepare requirement documents, you prepare requirement models, you prepare requirement visuals, and you need to do requirements management, which is basically project tracking, sharing the updates on the requirements which have been the requirements of features which have been delivered. So this is your activity. So for this, a very important area to model requirements is unified modeling language. Unified modeling language, or UML, as it is known, it is a modeling language to analyze and design IT systems. UML is an OMG, or Object Management Group standard, similar to BPMN. So OMG is a powerful industry consortium. Current version is version 2.5.1. UML is platform and development tool independent modeling language. So it does not matter whether you are using, we are utilizing a Sun Java platform, or whether we are using a Microsoft stack, or whether we are using a Linux stack, whatever that database or programming language is, UML remains the same. It is a visual specification language. It is not a human language. It is not a human language, not a programming language. But typically, it has, you see, notations, it has terms, and it has a prescription or a way how to come up with the models. Our job is to capture the requirement. While we capture the requirement, we capture it in form of documents. We also capture it in form of models. So promise of UML is a standard and superior specification coupled with unambiguous interpretation. So this is important. How can you do it easily? How you can do it in a standard manner? Coupled with superior, but whatever you do easily and in a standard manner has to have detail. Whatever detail you may be able to capture, if someone interprets it ambiguously, it will be of no use. So greater amount of detail along with unambiguous interpretation is what we want. So there are multiple, you see, mm, models in UML 7+7. As a business analyst, your main focus will be on the use case model. But there are these models you should know, focus more if you have more time: interaction, use case, state machine, activities plus deployment. Within this use case, state machine, activity, deployment, all these models are, you see, what we call as behavioral models. So we will see, other than the deployment model. And it is useful for all the stakeholders for IT systems. So UML models or diagrams will look something like this. To the uninitiated, it may look a bit heavy, but on a project, it is likely that you will come across one more or many of these drawings. So it may look difficult, but it is easy and fun, and people will respect you if you can basically prepare some of these models which are related to the business analyst profession. And if you are able to read, so to prepare is one thing, and to have the ability to read is yet another. So some models you are expected to prepare, some models you are expected to read and understand. UML is basically, if you focus on the word unified, is basically a unification of modeling methods by Booch, Rombaugh, and Jacobson. Booch, Rombaugh, and Jacobson. And later on, this unified method was adopted by OMG in 1996. So this was a refined modeling method because three stalwarts joined their modeling outputs, and then moment OMG adopted it as a standard, it was UML all the way as a modeling standard for analyzing and designing IT systems. So these stalwarts for IT: Booch, Rombaugh, and Jacobson. So who uses UML? All the stakeholders of an IT system, basically those who are part of the project, not necessarily people on the business side. Business analysts capture UML behavior diagrams. Please understand, you are focused on the behavior of the software. Software designers are focused on the design of the software. Testers will follow test the behavior. Sometimes for non-functional requirements, they will also test things like reliability, availability, etc. Client may review and approve all the diagrams. So our objective, let us say, the objective of UML is to prepare models. These models will capture the behavior and design of the structure of the software or behavior and design of the software. All these models put together, they will provide the software development team a blueprint to prepare the software. So ultimately, our goal is to prepare the software. So UML is very detailed. It provides the blueprint for the software to be developed. There are 7 structure and 7 behavior diagrams in UML. Every diagram utilizes standard notations and terms. So now we know a notation is a standard visual, and there is always an associated term, which is also something standard. We can't use our own vocabulary. To master UML, first step is to be thorough with UML notations and terms, whichever diagram. So UML has got structure diagrams and behavior diagrams. Our focus will be more on behavior diagrams. You can remember this acronym USA. So use case, state machine, and activity. 3 important diagrams for you. Yet another important diagram is D, deployment. You will be preparing use case diagram if there is a method to come up with these outputs. On the project, you will be preparing a use case diagram, a state machine diagram, and an activity diagram. The deployment for the solution is prepared by the software designer. But this deployment diagram is also very important because this deployment diagram shows the location of hardware and software and the network for your whole solution. So you, for now, just remember, UML has got 2 diagrams, structure and behavior, 7 structure diagrams and 7 behavior diagrams. Important diagrams for you are USA, use case, state machine and activity, plus D, deployment diagram. So now we are on, I am using Visio Plan 2, which is Visio 21. And 13, 16, 19, all these are gone. I use Visio Plan 2. So this is the software utilizing which you can prepare UML tools. There are many open source, few open source softwares also utilizing which you can prepare some UML diagrams. So you require a software and you require the knowledge of UML together, and also, of course, the behavior of the software you should be aware of, which may come, that knowledge may come from the client. So with these 3 things, you can prepare this diagram. So UML knowledge and expertise is necessary for business analysts. UML is not that difficult. Some people think that it is very difficult and very technical, so we should do away with it. Some may tell you that now we are following a Scrum framework. While we prepare Scrum, we do not prepare use case diagrams. We do not use UML. Again, you see, what you will produce on the job is dependent on what is the method or what is the what is typically being provided by what I may say quality management system of your company or QMS of your project. So we may not be preparing all the outputs, but if you ask me, UML is important. So at least, if not any more, you should be able to prepare UML use case diagram, which is essential. So who uses UML? All the stakeholders. Now we move on to UML use case modeling. You could have heard the word use case modeling. I have utilized the word use cases here in the title. The reason being that there is this standard document on UML superstructure document. It utilizes the word use cases. So Before I take you to the use cases, if there is any question, please, you can speak now. Anyone, any question? Okay, so I move ahead. Use cases. So what is a use case? A use case captures the behavior of the system, and our context is a software project. So how the software is going to behave, that we basically model or that we capture through a use case. Introduction to use cases. UML has got two type of diagrams: UML structure diagrams and UML behavior diagrams. UML use case diagram is a UML behavior diagram. Now, use cases, in very simple terms, are goals which end user would like to accomplish through the system. So anyone who is interacting with the system will have some goals. So these goals will be utilized by individuals interacting with the system. Say, for example, if you are an employee, if you visit your office and where you need to mark attendance, let us say utilizing a biometric machine as it is shown here. So mark attendance will be a use case. If you are a prospective passenger utilizing some airline, so search flights could be a use case for a flight booking system. For an online banking system, a use case could be transfer funds, pay bills, request checkbook, view balance, block card, enable card. Now, when we talk about an online banking system, you may well appreciate that this banking system will have some different user roles. Associated with the user role will be some goals. So I hope all of you can appreciate the word user role. Say, for example, for a e-learning system, there could be a role that of a student. There could be a role that of a course instructor. There could be a role which is basically, say, course evaluator. There could be a role that of admin. Now, all these roles will have different, say, for example, goals. A role as an instructor can publish a course, whereas role as a student will not be able to publish a course. So use cases, put simply, are goals. So I now need input from you guys. Everyone, please tell me the name of one software system which you interact with and the goals which you accomplish through that system. Please basically share this information one by one. So we can start with Ashish, and in the alphabetical order I will move. Yes, Ashish.
I'm sorry, sir, you broke. What was the question?
My question is, what is some software system or software application for which you have been acting as an end user? And what are some of the goals which which you typically accomplish through that software application?
So, like we discussed, the use cases, for example, the attendance marking portal, or to tool wherein we mark the attendance. The end goal is to mark the attendance, and flight booking portals.
Yep,
You know,
yep. So what is one application which you have utilized in recent days?
I use a couple of like I use booking.com, to book my flight.
Booking.com.
Yeah.
So what are some goals which you accomplish utilizing Booking.com?
Like comparing the flight tickets,
So
the yeah,
compare flight tickets. What
yeah,
else?
to compare the traveling time and to compare, for example, if I want to travel at specific time, so I would compare like at this particular time what all flights are available and what's the difference of price difference.
So, so now you see you need to think in terms of goals. So because you see you need to provide appropriate goal to your action. Say for example, on booking.com, one prominent goal could be book a ticket. Yet another goal could be make payment. Yet another goal could be reschedule a ticket or cancel a ticket. Then yet another goal could be view available flights. And while you will view, you will provide some parameters. Compare flights. And of course, do a login and log out. Am I with you? Yes, Ashish?
Yeah, I mean, as from analysis point of view and from an end user point of view, yeah, these are the steps which we take
Yeah.
usually.
So what you do, now after the class, you go again to booking.com, prepare a list of goals which you can accomplish via your role. So all these goals are use cases. Okay, thank you. Ahmad, I put up the same question to you. You may answer.
Yes. So, like making a purchase online, uh, would that be an example?
Of course. So if you are first you identify the system. What is the software application or the software system which you use and utilize? You provide the title or name of that system.
Like
Is it
eBay.
eBay? Okay. Now on eBay, you identify what is your role. So if you are to put a title to your role, is it a customer? What could be that correct title?
Customer.
Customer. Okay. What are some other user roles on eBay?
Uh,
Seller?
Seller. Customers and sellers mainly on eBay, right?
You will know better because you have been using it
Y-
more frequent compared to me. Out here, Amazon is more popular.
Yes.
Okay.
You are right.
So
I
you
mean, direct sellers and direct customers are available. You're right.
so you see, you identify roles and you identify goals. This is your first step. And these are what we call as broad goals. Because you see, unless we start to think as a business analyst in a sharp and a quick manner, we will feel a bit handicapped. It is like you see whether you can do a brisk walk or whether you are able to move slow. Of course, with this training, you are able to move. For now, maybe you are moving slow for want of context. But if you do a bit of mental exercise, you can always come up with crisp examples quick. Okay, thank you. Amir, what is your take? Are
Yeah,
you
Vijay.
around? Yes.
Yes. Vijay, does booking your train travel ticket can be considered into this scenario?
Yes, of course, of course.
Like,
A ticket booking
I
application is a big
yes,
application.
I
Everyone
I
uses
commute
it.
I commute to my office using the train. Okay, so I purchase the ticket daily on the application. Choose my
Okay,
destination. I choose the time I plan to travel, and I purchase a ticket. Then once I get done from the, then I do I take this electric bicycle to from
okay,
the station to my office. So again, I go by the same. I scan the QR code of the bicycle. Then I choose my destination, and then I go. So it's about purchasing the service
okay.
I'm
So this is
using.
one. So purchasing a ticket on for a railway or a local commute and renting a bicycle, is it one app or is it two different
Two
apps?
different apps. Yeah.
Two different apps. So for us to focus as a business analyst, we will focus on one application at a time.
Okay. Fine.
So one application, one role at a time, and then we identify all the goals.
Okay.
So this
So
is
I choose
the,
this my train commute as one
yeah.
application I
So
use.
and you put, if it is a we need to have a title for this application also. If it is something like Amazon or something like eBay, everyone can understand.
It's called a Ventra app, which is
Aventra
the
app. So
Ventra.
you see,
Yeah.
now if you discuss Aventra app with someone using the name Aventra, it becomes real.
Yeah.
You see, our business analysis, our examples should have some life. Then people
Mhm.
will appreciate. And if we can provide examples out of our own earlier work experience, that is the best. Best is
Okay.
if we can come up with applications which we have been utilizing on the job. If
Mhm.
if that is not the case, don't worry. Be a good observer for at least one or two applications which you use on a daily basis. If you do that, you are already honing your skills as a business analyst. Because skill, you see, skill or technique wise, we are learning new things every week. But we need to come up, mm, uh, we need to come up in a manner that we appreciate the big picture. Shubham, now it is your turn.
So one common software I use as an end user is Slack. Basically, it's a messaging tool, and the goal of a Slack is to facilitate real-time communication and collaboration within the
Yep.
teams, and it also integrate other tools like Google Drive, Jira, and Zoom to Slack as well. So it's better
Yeah.
than Teams for messaging as well as collaborating with the teams real time.
Yeah, so Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Slack are similar software. Slack, mm, people who are using Slack may find it better. So now again, you need to come up with crisp verbs of what are the goals which you achieve via Slack. So say for example, while I am using Teams, some of the goals which I achieve here is basically announce a meeting or create a meeting, start a meeting, admit participants, record the conversations. Then you see, now I'm talking about the meeting. Switch on or switch off my video, share the screen. But this is only one part of Teams or Slack. There are so many other activities. So what you can do, let us say Slack is something what you are utilizing, identify multiple areas within Slack or what we call as software modules. So say for example, participating in a team or having a Teams webinar is only one of the many facilities which are available on Microsoft Teams. Similarly, on Slack, there will be multiple. So identify the big areas of functionality, take up say one area, and then identify all the goals which you accomplish within that area. And of course, take help of ChatGPT or Copilot. Because now, if you do not use it, someone else will be using it and you will be left behind. Okay, we come back. So, use cases are goals. A use case model looks something like this. If you can see, this is a visual model. A visual model with these lines, a rectangle, an ellipse, a straight line, there is something like a user or a stick man. So a use case model will look something like this. We will see what are the ingredients or constituents of this model. So use cases, as I have told you, are goals which end users accomplish through the system. And they are written in a particular manner. So these are crisp verbs: issue ticket, cancel ticket, issue return ticket, etc. So whatever functionality which is there in your system, you have to identify that. Whatever is out of agreed that it is going to be out of scope, you can identify that as well. So who prepares the use case? Business analyst. Who utilizes the use case model? Almost every stakeholder on the software project. Dr. Ivar Jacobson is the pioneer who has is the person who has pioneered the use cases. It is a very effective technique. I can tell you, if I am to teach, say, business analysis, and if you give me only 30 minutes to teach, within those 30 minutes, I will teach use case modeling for at least 10-12 minutes. This is so powerful a technique. So while if we are designing a new system, we can prepare a model and we can share the functionality in form of a visual model to our stakeholders. If there is already an existing system, you see, we can share this model with the persons who are joining our team, and they can understand what is the functionality. Because while you see the system, you are able to understand so many things. If you can read, tell me if this is legible. Net meeting software. In a net meeting software, roles could be presenter, organizer, participant. Let's say a presenter can share a screen. He can share his video. Participant can view screen. An organizer can basically say, for example, let's say create the meeting or excuse someone admit someone inside the meeting or someone outside the meeting. So a model will look like this. We will be learning Visio as we move forward, but for now, just you see how we can prepare it. You are also getting, you see, exposed to this user interface. I click on new. Within new, I will go to templates. Within templates, I will go to software and database. Within software and database, there is this UML use case diagram template. Then view, I need to design, I need to provide the correct orientation. In view, I will provide the grid also so that it looks better. And this is it. Okay, for example, I write something like a net meeting. We will identify the roles, and these will be the roles which will be applicable to our system. Some other system like say Zoom or Teams may have some different roles. Let's say our roles are presenter, admin, or organizer, and let's say yet another role is participant. See here, participant, organizer, presenter, and system is the net meeting software. Say, for example, this is what is known as a use case, this ellipse, and these are the goals. Say, for example, create meeting 1. And let's say yet another start meeting. Let's say yet another end meeting. So all these are, you can see these are goals. And what you see on the screen is the use case model. And who can accomplish all this? Basically the organizer. So you need to identify the roles, you need to identify the use cases or the goals, and you need to capture all these in form of a visual, which is this. Can a participant create start or end meeting? No. Since the participant cannot create start or end the meeting, we will not have a line like this here, association line like this here. This is not required because a participant cannot do this. A presenter can, say for example, share screen, share video, or you can say share or transmit, whatever word you use. Words are still important. Transmit video, transmit audio, something like this. This is how we prepare a use case model. Very effective technique to capture and a visual technique to capture. You may think that all what an organizer can, what a presenter can do, an organizer can also do. So for that, there is this relationship, which is the generalization relationship between actors. By the way, these organizer, presenter, and participant are what are known as actors. Say a participant can raise hand, send messages, raise hand. So I am just giving you an overview how the diagram will come up. Organizer, let us say, he can also promote a participant to presenter. So something like this, promote to presenter. Say in some system, the participant is allowed to transmit audio. So we will include this, send messages. So this is how a use case model comes up. I am just giving you a brief initiation. So identify roles, identify use cases. So how do we prepare a use case model? So I'm writing it here, preparing a use case model. Identify user roles, identify use cases or identify goals which are associated with that user. And then there is something called as relationships. I will explain what these relationships are. You have seen two relationships in this diagram. One is the simple association relationship between actor. So these are what are known as actors, actor and a use case. And this relationship is the generalization relationship between actors. So this arrow tells you that all what a presenter can accomplish, organizer can accomplish as well. So this is how you prepare a use case model. We will come back to this shortly again, these concepts. So when do you prepare use cases? You prepare use cases when you are initiating the business analysis activity of your project. So while you are discussing the requirements, the client tells that the system will allow registered persons on the portal to book tickets, to cancel tickets, to view ticket availability. So similarly, you can immediately prepare a use case model, share it with your team members, share it with your client, refine the model. So very quick, you are able to come up with the broad goals or broad objectives of the system. So there is one more concept, in scope and out of scope. Whatever goals which are mentioned inside the system are in scope. Whatever goals which are mentioned outside the system are out of scope. Say for example, I will show it to you again here. Say for some system, let's say there are use cases like login, view ticket availability, book ticket, cancel ticket, and let's say something is written like this. What does this mean? I have not shown the actors. What does this mean? That login, view ticket availability, book ticket, cancel tickets are part of the functionality of the system. Reschedule ticket is not the functionality. You can see it here. Whatever is outside the rectangle is out of scope. Whatever is inside the rectangle is in scope. Moving ahead. Now let us decode the use case diagram, some of which you already understand, but still we will decode. A diagram will look something like this. We have already seen it. In a use case diagram, there will be standard notations, there will be standard terms. We will stick to these standards. These notations are actor, use case, which is the ellipse, association relationship, which is the straight line, and rectangle, which is the system boundary. You have seen all of it here. Page 1. Only thing is that the actor what you see in Visio has got a different visual or different look. But the one which is shown in the PowerPoint is the visual utilized by the UML standard documents. One which is being shown by Visio is some variation which Visio has provided to us. Diving deep into use case diagram notations. Actor, notation of the actor is the stickman. So this is the stickman. Below the actor role name is written. So role and title is different. You can have two different titles in a department. But let us say both these guys, say for example, in a library, a head librarian and a deputy librarian can carry out exactly the same goals from the library management system, then there will be one role but two titles in the organization. Actors are those entities which interact with our system in question. And actors can be human or non-human entities. This we skip, we do not need it. How to identify actors? Who uses the system? What other softwares interact with this system? Who does the installation, startup, shutdown, maintenance, etc.? From where does our software receive data from? Where does our software send data to? What are the inputs which are received from the system? Just for an example, say when you are interacting with a software like railway ticket booking system, you are an actor. Let's say for a building management system, if it is receiving the temperature of the individual conference rooms via a temperature sensor, so for the building management system, even the temperature sensor is an actor. Though it is not a human entity, it is a non-human entity. So anything which interacts with the system are actors. Instance of an actor. Think of a banking system or a ATM machine. In the ATM machine, you may be withdrawing cash from that bank ATM as an account holder from one city. I may be withdrawing cash from the very same ATM system from a different machine from a different city. All of us are different instances of the same actor called account holder. So this is instance of an actor. Use case. Notation of use case is ellipse. Use cases are goals which actors or end users would like to accomplish through the system. Use case outside the system boundary is out of scope. Use case inside the system boundary is in scope. And system boundary is the rectangle. So how to identify use cases? What goals primary actors want to achieve with this system? Why does software interact with secondary actors? So for now, just focus on the word actor, primary, and we need not focus on primary and secondary actors for the moment. What are the primary goals of the software? Then instance of a use case. A use case in its different instance can carry out a different scenario. A use case in its different instance can carry out a different scenario. For example, if I go and withdraw cash from an ATM machine, I may be successful. Yet another person who goes there, he finds that the ATM machine is out of cash. So now this is a different instance for the same use case, withdraw cash. For some other person, if he is asking for, let us say, US dollar, say 8,500, but he is not finding the appropriate denomination in bills, something like that. So or there could be some other scenario, you have forgotten your PIN. So a use case in its different instance can carry out a different scenario. So that is instance of a use case. Then what is the scenario? When you carry out a use case, a different scenario can happen. I am doing a login, I log in successfully. You are doing a login, your PIN, you have forgotten the PIN. But second time you have provided the correct PIN. Yet another person is providing a wrong PIN multiple times, his card gets blocked. So that is scenario of the use case. With different scenarios, sometimes there is branching in the process flow also. So use case scenarios are not captured in the use case diagram. See here. We are writing book ticket. Now, or let's say there is yet another scenario, make payment. Now, while someone is making the payment, the use case may have a different scenario in different times. Say, for example, someone is making the payment utilizing a debit card. Yet another person is making a payment utilizing a credit card. Yet another person who is making a payment, an OTP does not reach him, so the payment is not successful. So all this is not covered here. In the use case model, we capture overall top level goals. System boundary we already know. System boundary is the rectangle. Use cases inside the system boundary are in scope. Use cases outside the system boundary are out of scope. And please remember and please understand, for our given application, if it is very complex, we may have to prepare multiple use case models, not one. In scope and out of scope, I have already told you. Now we move on to the 5 relationships in a use case model. But before I do that, if you have any questions, you are welcome to speak. I hope you are with me on what I have covered so far. Please speak. Whatever comes to your mind, you can speak.
I'm
You
okay,
can,
Vijay. I'm
yeah,
okay with it.
okay, okay. What about others?
Yeah, I'm okay too.
Okay, okay. So we move ahead. Now there are 5 relationships in a use case model. In fact, 2 of the 5 relationships we have already gone through. These 5 relationships are association between actor and a use case, generalization between actors, generalization between use cases, include relationship between use cases, and extend relationship between use cases. Let's start to understand all these relationships one by one. This is association relationship between actor and a use case, this one. This line, this is the actor, presenter is the actor, transmit audio is the use case, and this line is the association relationship between actor and the use case. This particular line, plain line. While we see the association relationship, we are aware what an actor or the end user is able to accomplish. Simple plain line. Then second relationship is the generalization relationship between actors. The notation for generalization relationship is this arrow. Arrow initiates from the specialized actor and moves towards the generalized actor. I will show this. But before I do that, just understand the concept. Sometimes one actor can carry out all the use cases which another actor can carry out, and at least one more additional use case, which is the case here. You can see here the organizer of the net meeting software can carry out all the cases what use cases which a presenter of the net meeting software can do. Say for example, presenter can share a screen. We may assume that the organizer can also share a screen. Presenter can transmit video, the organizer can also transmit video. Then in this case, where one use case, one actor who can carry out all the use cases which yet another actor can carry out, and at least one more is called as the specialized actor. This is the, I am writing it here, specialized actor. Arrow initiates from the specialized actor and it points towards the generalized actor. So organizer is the specialized actor and presenter is the generalized actor, and there exists generalization relationship between use cases, between actors. Generalization between use cases. At times, one use case can be carried out in more than one ways. Let us say, think of a ATM system, a ATM cash withdrawal system. Let's say for this system, or think of a banking system, the administrator can deactivate your cash withdrawal card or cash card or debit card if it has the cash withdrawal facility also in the light of suspicious activity or utilizing some report. So on report of card theft, or on finding suspicious activity, your cache card is deactivated by the administrator. The same administrator checks the weekly report of unusual card usage and blocks the cards through a batch program. So individually, if you report that there is I want my card to be deactivated for whatever reason, the one who has got the admin role can deactivate. Or collectively, he is receiving unusual card usage report on a weekly basis and he is blocking cards for using the batch program. As you can see, both the use cases can be called as deactivate card or block card. See, this is how it is shown. Deactivate card one by one, deactivate card through a batch program weekly. So this is how it is done. And arrow initiates from the specialized use case towards the more generalized use case. Deactivate card, as you can see, is more generalized, but these two use cases are more specialized. So this is the generalization relationship between use cases. So far, you know association relationship between an actor and a use case. You also know generalization relationship between actors, and you also know generalization relationship between use cases. Then a very important relationship is the include relationship between use cases. For the include relationship, there the notation is this arrow, this dashed line, and over the top the includes is written on it on the dashed line. So arrow initiates from the including use case and points towards the included use case. I will tell you the definition. Please understand the definition. Sometimes when we carry out one use case, another use case is compulsorily carried out. So the focus is on the word compulsory. Sometimes when we carry out one use case, another use case is carried out compulsorily. Let us say in the ATM system, when we withdraw cash, the rule is such that on every cash withdrawal, SMS is sent to the account holder. So then there exists the include relationship, something like this. See here. Sometimes we don't even show the rectangle for the system, and we just show in our documents, we just show a sub area like this. Withdraw cash. Can you see? Whenever the account holder withdraws cash, an SMS is compulsorily sent. This is include relationship between use cases. Can someone give me an example of some other use case where yet another use case is included? It will help me appreciate that you are in the class. We carry out one use case, another use case is being carried out compulsorily. Give me an example. Let us say we make the payment. And as we make the payment, the rule for the application is that the receipt for the payment is being sent automatically on our email ID. So make payment and send is the including use case, and send receipt on email is the included use case. This is the include relationship. Yet another relationship is extend relationship. Now you focus on the words. Sometimes one use case may optionally extend its functionality to another use case. So here the focus is on optionally. Say for example, see this. If you see the example, then you will be able to understand. We will come back to this picture, this visual also. Let's say I will show it to you here only. Withdraw cash, send SMS. But while you withdraw cash, you have the option to print the transaction slip. This is optional. Not always transaction slip will be printed. Then see the direction of arrows.
Why is the direction of arrow in going back to withdraw cash for print
I will
transactions?
explain. You see, this is the convention. Arrow initiates from the extending use case and points towards the extended use case. I am writing something here, and then I will repeat what I am saying. Extending use case, This is easy to understand if there is someone to explain. Otherwise, people are not able to appreciate this so easily. Extending use case and this one, and this is what is called as the extended use case. I am explaining this. Now, sometimes one use case may optionally extend its functionality to another use case. The use case which optionally extend its functionality to another use case is called as the extending use case. The use case whose functionality gets extended is called as the extended use case. Arrow initiates from the extending use case and points towards the extended use case. And here also I will write so that the concept is clear. Included including. Here arrow initiates from the including use case and points towards the included use case. I can change the color for that. So just to understand these rules, that for the include relationship, the arrow will move from initiate from the including use case and points towards the included use case. For the extend relationship, the arrow will initiate from the extending use case and will point towards the extended use case. And for the extend relationship, the focus is on the word optional. For the include relationship, the focus is on the word compulsory. So Samir, now are you clear why I am using different directions for the arrows?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
But
so you need
again,
to,
like why the print transaction slip is considered an extended use case? Why it's not considered an included use case?
no, because you see, mm, out here, my system implicit assumption is that the ATM machine is providing me an option to print the transaction slip, whether or not I would like to print the transaction slip. So that is why we are using the extend relationship. Whereas for sending the SMS while you withdraw, SMS is being sent compulsorily.
Auto, yes. Okay. So anything
Say for
which wherein you have an option to choose, that could be considered as an extended use case, like
yeah, extend it. So and then remember this while we print the transaction slip, it is said that the withdraw cache, the functionality for the withdraw cache has been extended.
Okay.
So you need to focus on what I speak.
Yeah.
That is the only way to understand it quick.
I got it. Okay.
Let's say I am duplicating this page. Duplicate. Let's say after certain number of years, there is a rule, there is a change in rule that only if there is a withdrawal of more than, say, for example, USD 500 via ATM machine, an SMS will be sent. Now it is something which becomes conditional or optional. So for that, now the business analyst has to change the model. Now I will not use this. I will use in extend relationship, and I will tell you how am I using it. I will delete this. So the rule has changed. Earlier, for whatever withdrawal you were making, for whatever withdrawal, SMS was being sent, but this is not the case anymore. Now only only withdrawals over and above USD 500 cash is being sent. So here we need to write a condition. That condition is written using these brackets. Withdrawal greater than equal to 500. And these curly brackets are used. Now this also tells when do we extend. And now I think this will become extending, and this will become extended, and this will become extending. So these two relationships, include relationship and extend relationship between use cases. So now we have learned association between actor and a use case, generalization between actors, generalization between use cases, include relationship between use cases, and extend relationship between use cases. Additional topics which you cannot ignore. Some additional topics. A flipped rectangle is a notation for a comment. In Visio, we do not have this optional option for a flipped rectangle. wherever you would like to use a flipped rectangle attached with a dashed line. It seems Visio does not neither provide me a flipped rectangle nor we have a dashed line here. None of it. So you see, this is basically sometimes softwares are not 100% conformant with the standard. Something like this. This is the flipped rectangle. If there is a condition, then we provide that condition within the flipped rectangle within these curly brackets. I've shown this curly bracket to you earlier. Now, how do we document a use case? Now, best method to document a use case today is to utilize ChatGPT, and then whatever you get, provide ChatGPT necessary information, come up with the documentation for the use case. Whatever you get, refine it, humanize it, and contextualize it. However, having said that, you can just provide the documentation in as much detail as you can. C-level, which is written here, you see sometimes some of the vocabulary is not utilized in the framework. C-level is basically you have the high level requirement, and then when there is C-level, this is the lowest level detail of all the steps. This is how we do documentation traditionally. Account holder, what the account holder will do, what the ATM subsystem will do. In a tabular form, you just provide, or in a paragraph form, you can just provide. I will provide you some documentation, some contemporary examples of documentation in the group. Now, how do we produce use cases? We produce use cases by identifying actors. So identify the application, provide a good, reasonable name to the application. Then for that application, identify actors, identify use cases, identify relationships, start modeling, start documentation, share the use case model, revise and refine. I shall not say if required. Revise and refine is something which is compulsory. If required, doesn't look good. I will strike through. Because if required seems as if whatever we will produce will be something which can be consumed right away, which is not the case. Revise and refine. Be ready for refinement. Be ready for revision. Because business analysis is never done in isolation. Business analysis, you will do the heavy lifting. That means the output will be as good as 90% by your effort, and then others will help you improve the same because they may have a different context which may be more appropriate. So how do you prepare? So step-by-step method, use a use case modeling software. So I am using Visio Plan 2 or Visio 21. There are so many other softwares also. So what is the summary? While you start your project, be ready to prepare use case models. You capture overall requirements, identify actors, capture in scope and out of scope. Be particular and exact about notations and style. That's it. And please remember, the video library is very rich when it comes to use case modeling and when it comes to business process modeling. Do not rely only on these lectures which I am delivering here, because I have to package everything in the time available. But the video library which is available is quite good. So you need to focus on the video library also. And it has got, you see, good practical exercises and practical demonstrations as well on use case modeling also. We still have time. Today, what I will do, I will ask you people to come up with your questions, because my only worry is I am equipping you with skills. You have to come up with a thread which can basically allow you to tie all these skills together, and you should have the ability to comprehend the big picture. But before I open the class for those discussions, let me put the co-pilot to work once again. Let us say net meeting software. Now, you see, Copilot has interpreted the word use cases in a slightly different manner. Because if you have been working in industry, sometimes the word use case is basically an example how a particular software or a particular thing can be used. But it is a good start. So as an analyst, now you know that for net meeting, you can have areas like virtual client meeting, team meetings, client and vendor meetings, so outsiders are involved. Online trainings and webinars are there. Sales and product demos are there. So if you wish, you can add a special functionality for each of these areas. Let's say I tell them, Copilot, we are to prepare a software which will prepare a net meeting software which will be primarily used for internal and external meetings. We will same for internal and external I wish to identify. This time I will provide Copilot the definition of the use cases. So that it helps me provide what I wish to. And users will be brief 2-3 line organize or say categorize Let's see what comes up. Now it is slightly different. This is what we wanted. Join, share, chat, record, schedule, moderate, poll, annotate, admin and IT support. I have told you that while you will be using Copilot, you have to contextualize it. So what is contextualization? Let us say in our context, we are using user roles as, instead of employees, we are using user role as a organizer, as a co-organizer, as a presenter, as a participant. Doesn't matter whether he is an employee or not. He could have only these roles. It doesn't matter whether he is a general manager or a junior management trainee in the organization. So then we can come up with yet another list. Here Copilot has processed whatever I have provided to them, provided the input. So I ask Copilot again, hey Copilot, irrespective of the title in the organization, we will have software like co-organizer, let's say one more breakout room coordinator. Can you please categorize So please understand, this is a good start. This start is giving us some vocabulary or crisp verbs. And then still we need to contextualize it, improve upon it, discuss it, etc. Then now with this information and with a little more refinement, you can start to prepare your use case model. Remember, identify the user roles, identify the use cases or goals, identify relationships, start to model, refine the model, discuss the model, improve the model. And good many exercises or are available in the video library. I suggest that you go through the library this week. I will try to provide you a link for a software which is not Visio. Visio we will start next week. You install it then only. I will provide you link of a software through which you can freeware through which you can use start with UML modeling. For now, I hope we have learned UML, we have learned use case modeling, and we are also a bit more organized how to extract information as per our context from these large language models. So I now open the class for discussion and comment and observations, one by one, or anyone who may unmute and speak. And we need not limit our discussion to use case modeling. We can ask other topics also, whatever we have covered so far. If you people are a bit quiet, then I will go one by one as per the alphabetical order. Ashish,
So I have some cleaning process going on here. I'm so sorry about it.
oh,
But it's still in process. So I was just,
not an issue. You see, Saturday, or not Saturday, Sunday is a busy day out there, so I can
no,
understand.
yeah. So I mean, people from outside they come and clean. So it's going on here. That's the
Okay,
reason I
okay.
was not able to ask you questions. But I'll go through this lecture, today, and I'm sure that I'll come up with some questions.
Yeah, my whole objective is basically to ensure that each of you are developing a wholesome perspective about business analysis. It might be a bit challenging at this moment because every week you have to learn a new skill or you see competency area, but then you need to weave all these skills into one. Ahmad,
Agreed.
what would you? Yeah, Ahmad, what are your thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts right now, Vijay. This class I'm lagging behind. I'll have to catch up.
Not an issue. Tell me, are you able to develop some viewpoint on business analysis by now?
Yes, certainly.
Because you see, your viewpoint is important. You may use, say, for example, on some project, you may use business process modeling, or you may not use it at all. That does not matter. On yet another project, you may be preparing UML models, or you may not use it. That does not matter. But a wholesome perspective is what will help you everywhere. Yeah. Okay. Samir, now it is your turn.
I'm good, Vijay, as of now. Yeah, maybe I need to go through some deep embedded models by myself and then to come up with some questions to you. And
Okay.
I want to understand, like you asked us to download this Bizager module,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Will you be taking us through it in a separate class, or is it just like
You
similar
can,
to
you
what
see,
you did it on Visio? We can do same thing on there.
it is exactly similar to Visio. Yesterday, I wanted to demonstrate Bizagi, but somehow the laptop which I use for lectures, Bizagi was
Mhm.
not installed in it. If you have downloaded Bizagi, all you need to do, just you follow my lecture, which I have utilized Visio out there. While you have to prepare the process model, you use Bizagi. That's it.
The
It is
concept will be the same, right? The concepts are the
exactly
same. Yeah,
exactly the same. Exactly the same.
yeah. The PPMN notations which are there in Visage is also the same. Like we have standard; those are standard, right? Those will be standard
Standards. So
notations.
those are standards. So same in Visio, same in Bezagi, same in say for example other modelers like Oracle BPM or IBM modeler or whatever that
Mhm.
system is.
Okay, thank you.
So you can do that practice also.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
Shubham.
I have no questions, but yeah, this week I need to go through both the topics which was taught yesterday and today. Maybe I'll have some questions like the next week.
Okay, not an issue. Again, at the cost of repetition, all of you, what I can say that we need to develop a big picture for the business analyst role and profession. In the video library, somewhere I have shared a functional requirement document for a e-commerce food delivery app. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will share that on the WhatsApp group also. So what you do, you just go see that food delivery app functional requirement document. And now you must observe what are some of the components for that functional requirement documents which you can prepare now. Of course, you cannot prepare the whole document because there are some additional areas which we need to learn. But now you will be able to see there are some areas which are where you can contribute with this knowledge. So that is what you can do. This week you can prepare process models. I will share a use case modeling exercise with you also online, which I would have prepared earlier. And just to cover and catch up with whatever has been taught up to this point. No need to learn anything extra. First, you start with these lectures. If you still have time, you go through the video library and nothing else is to be learned other than what is being taught here. If you have some inquisitiveness, take help of ChatGPT. And one more thing, you can go through job descriptions. That is very important because that will basically allow you to gauge yourself where you stand. Yeah, someone was speaking.
Yeah, Vijay, you have been sharing with us the recordings on WhatsApp, right? You have said the
Yep,
link,
yep,
but
yep.
I don't know. Maybe is it me who's having issues? Like when I try to, go through or try to explore all the recordings in one SharePoint, I'm unable to see them. I'm able to only
Let
access
us
them through the links you are sending.
let us ask others. Shubham, have you tried the links which I have shared on the WhatsApp group?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
I'm
So,
able to view the video what you're sharing the link. Okay, but I want to go back and check the video recording of the first session or the second session. I'm unable to go to the page where you have all the recording.
no, I do not have a single page. In fact, I must warn each of
Okay.
you that I will not have, I will say 3 months from now, if you ask me the link, I may not be able to find this link also.
Okay.
I'll tell you the method. The method is this link will be available to you for quite some time, say for something like 4 to 6 months, till
Hmm.
Microsoft keeps it on the directory. Beyond that, you see the our primary source is the learning portal. That's what I recommend. If you go through the learning portal, you will find it much more valuable. But if you are not able to find any specific video, just WhatsApp me. I will try to find and share it with you.
So you recommend us to bookmark those pages links for my maybe if
Just
I
to
want to go back.
whatever you wherever you manage, just to save these links.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Why
will
is it
help.
important to go back? Why is it important to go through the recording is that we discuss some
I
topics in
agree.
the
I agree.
session,
I
right?
agree.
So I want to go back and listen. Okay, what did you what
I
was your
agree.
response or what was the question raised?
I
So
agree. I
that
agree.
that's the
I
reason.
agree.
I will not find the same thing in the library.
Yeah, in the library is crisp and to the point.
Yes.
Library is exactly to the point.
It's
But
a
if you
monologue,
find,
right? Library is a monologue, and the recording is wherein you may have both two side conversation. So very
yep,
very
yep.
valuable information been exchanged in the training session. So
Yeah,
that's the reason I'm.
but what, yeah, but what I have done in the recording, I have sometimes I feel sometimes you wish to be to the point. At other times, you see you wish to go through the discussions.
Yeah, it's my source.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So for now, I stop here. We meet again next week, next Saturday, which is basically 9 p.m. India time or 10:30 a.m. CST. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Next Saturday, I may I will share the schedule once again. I am planning one extra lecture or one additional lecture which will start from 9:30 a.m. CST. So which is basically a foundation lecture on Power BI. It is not the main lecture, but basically some foundation which could be built so that we are able to understand the main lecture quick. So we may start at 8 p.m. India Standard Time. We may. So I will confirm the schedule. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. class is confirmed. Only thing is whether we have an additional class 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. India time. So I hope that is comfortable with each of you.
I'm okay with that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's fine with
okay.
me too.
Okay, so I will let you know the schedule for Saturday. But in any case, our classes 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. are confirmed. Yeah. Okay.
Vijay, just to look ahead, like when we will be closing this training session? Like, what will be the last day?
I do not have the exact dates, but I
Mhm.
think we are going at a good pace.
Okay, all right.
So and no less than 10 weeks, no more than 12 weeks.
From here.
Yeah, not from here, no, from where we have started.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.